It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Kia.
Welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, quickly approaching this year's All-Star break. Tonight, we'll be watching the Milwaukee Bucks playing against the Detroit Pistons. Well, it was Detroit winning their last game against the Raptors. This is a team absolutely firing on all cylinders, a 12-game winning streak, and they're playing free, no pressure, taking it all one game at a time. And we'll be seeing Giannis Antetokounmpo in tonight's matchup. Still growing as a player, but the talent is certainly there. Shaq, you got any advice for the Greek freak?
People try to compare him to other wing players, Ernie, but he is unique. Main thing he needs to find
is a unique freak, Greek freak.
Oh, I like that one. The main thing he needs to find his own way and play his own style.
Yeah, I like the
unique
nickname.
Greek freak.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I would say he needs to keep working on his jump shot just to keep the defense honest, but he gets to the rim so easy, he's still impossible to guard. Tough player.
Hey, time to take a peek at the unique Greek freak.
Ooh.
With a nice physique.
Ooh.
Oh, we better not let this leak.
I enjoy your critique.
Ooh.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
It's an all-Eastern Conference matchup in today's game as the Pistons come into town for this one. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got Chris Webber and Greg Anthony with us. And from the sideline, we'll be hearing from David Aldridge. It's a one-game reprieve at home for the Bucks. Here with their Milwaukee fans, and then back on the road. And, of course, Mirza Teletovic. This will be their second game without him.
Yeah, no question that it's a risky deal to make because it's the kind of move that can turn a team's fan base against the front office. But trading one of the most popular players on the team is always risky no matter what you get in return.
And Chris, at the midway point of the season, are teams worried about peaking too early? Is that a real concern for teams?
Yeah, you know what? I've never understood the phrase peaking too early. I never understood what that meant. You know, you're supposed to try to win every game you can. There's no such thing as perfection, so you'll never peak.
Great way to put it. And now the opening lineup for Detroit. On the wings, Caldwell, Pope, and Harris. Trez out there with Andre Drummond, and it's Jackson in at the one. Here's Monroe, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Shots, gentlemen.
One of last year's flashiest free agent signings, 3 years, $60 million. Greg Monroe did not disappoint.
Yeah, really thrived playing a lot at center after having spent the early years at the power forward position. Well-rounded post scorer with excellent court vision, and plus a rebounder at both ends of the floor. That subpar athleticism can hurt defensively at times, but he is an asset on the floor.
Now here's Jackson. Here's Drummond. Rejected by Monroe. A shot by Carter Williams. Nobody around. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in.
Oh, heads up play. The defense collapses inside. He shrewdly launches the transition three.
Jackson is doubled. Here's Drummond. He can't get that one to fall. Good work defensively by Monroe. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Parker outside. From 12 feet out, it's Drummond with the rebound.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
Jackson kicks to Caldwell Pope. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And Caldwell Pope can be a volume three-point shooter, meaning when he gets a lot of attempts from there, he can fill it up from downtown.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Oh, I love the anticipation on that play. Might have stolen it if he were there just about a half a step soon.
Now here's Carter Williams. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Pacers in Indianapolis. Caldwell Pope against Middleton. 6 on the shot clock. Milwaukee needs to get off a shot here. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick. Middleton's got his first bucket in this one. The Pistons have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. And they double up Jackson. Prez. And a look at Prez there, just punishing the rim.
Oh, and you love the ferocity that Prez finished that playoff with. No layups for the big fella.
Antetokounmpo passes to Carter Williams. Here's Parker. Rebound, Detroit. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a count.
I was amazed at their execution. No matter how loud the arena got, they remained calm and in control.
Now here's Parker. We saw him with 10 points last game. Bucket is good.
And he's starting to get what he wants here early and often. Nice move.
Ooh, this could be an early sign of an explosive game for him. You have to keep your eye on him if you're the defense.
Here's Prez, and finished off by Prez.
And Prez just rocking the rim on that one. He is an outstanding dunker.
And we've got here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Yes, Kevin, I caught up with Jason Kidd just a few minutes ago. Now, they are 0-2 so far against this team this season. I asked him what they have to do to flip the script. He said, well, at the end of the day, it comes down to putting points on the board. We have to be more effective against their shot blockers. Maybe it's crashing the glass. Maybe it's better looks on the perimeter. We have to figure it out. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the report, David.
You know, I think he's right to be concerned about the defense they're going up against today. I mean, it's going to take some creativity for them on offense to be able to score consistently.
This is why I hope they'll be assertive. Attack rather than wait to be attacked. Employ sort of a fight fire with fire mentality.
Here's Antetokounmpo following the bucket by the Pistons.
And how about the bounce pass there being used to perfection?
Now, you knew when you heard that Stan Van Gundy was coming to Detroit that they would be built around protecting their basket. This team has continued to focus on tough defense to win games. They have the talent and the effort to continue to improve.
Now here's Monroe following the miss by Prez. And Middleton kicks to Parker. And the dunk by Parker.
And not the prototype power forward, but he has tremendous.
Come on, gentlemen. Let's go. Our defensive intensity has got to match what Giannis is bringing on offense. If we want to stop him, we've got to shore up our baseline D. Move your feet and funnel him to the middle. And if he passes, be ready to close out on the shooter. It starts right now, fellas. Let's go.
Coach Van Gundy has been preaching it, and the leaders on the team have brought it in. They do a great job of rebounding to close out possessions. Pistons also contest every shot they can get to, even on the perimeter.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Miles Plumlee's checked in for Monroe. Gibson comes in for Parker, and it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Michael Carter-Williams. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Detroit. Smith comes in for Jackson. Now here is Dellavedova following the miss by Prez. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
I have no idea why he would have even attempted that. That's a horrible turnover.
The Pistons have gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Plumlee with the steal. Caldwell Pope against Middleton. Over in the corner, Dellavedova. Antetokounmpo kicks to Gibson. To the middle, here's Plumlee. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Harris outside. Caldwell Pope against Middleton. Impressive fadeaway right there. Prez has got 8 points.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
Dellavedova dishes to Antetokounmpo. Kicks it to Plumlee. Unloads from 9. Foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. A lot of great young talent, Chris, coming in the game. Who could be the face of the league in a few years, do you think?
Well, I really like Towns and Wiggins. I really like this Minnesota team. I think their team can become a fan favorite as we see the game go on. Also, Kyrie Irving. How about Kyrie Irving? Just won a championship. How about Davis, Anthony Davis? I just think we have some great young talent. Excited to see what the future holds.
So fun. Hill passes to Prez. Plumlee with some nice D. For Milwaukee, they've gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Outside Gibson. Middleton on the wing. He's guarded by Caldwell Pope. Hill against Antetokounmpo. Plumlee, no luck.
They have to be happy at least with how they set it up. Most of the time, that's a sure make.
And shot by Caldwell Pope, no good. And for Milwaukee, they're shooting an impressive 60% early. It's stolen by Hill. And, oh, here we go. Smith's got it. The fast break chance. Detroit, no good that time either.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Solid defense. They weren't going anywhere against them there.
Back to Dellavedova. The Bucks working the ball around. And Middleton kicks to Gibson. 4 on the shot clock. 3-pointer, Dellavedova, and the Bucks miss again. Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Smith dishes to Prez. There's the pass to Harris. There's 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter. That puts them in the lead. Caldwell Pope's got 6.
Oh, and Caldwell Pope is not shy about letting it fly, about getting one up. Such a nice stroke.
Dellavedova with the ball. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game to end the drought, and it's blocked. And there's the foul. Goes on Taj Gibson. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
The Bucks. Detroit leading by 6. On the floor for Detroit, Jackson and KCP are in the backcourt together. Harris is out there with Prez, and it's Drummond in at the 5, roaming the paint, and they get it back. And that's his 4th basket of the night. He's taken 7 shots, a solid 57%. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
And they need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Parker outside. It off the glass. Wow. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Prez in their last game against the Raptors got the job done. He ended with 16 points and was his usual dominant self on the glass. He simply took over the game. Looked like he could do whatever he wanted to out there. We'll see if tonight follows the same script. Kevin?
David, thanks for the great update, and what a jaw-dropping performance that was, guys.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, he's given himself a hard act to follow here tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's the point of it, but I think he likes that. It's a challenge to try to improve upon what was such a spectacular display last time out.
Now, here's Caldwell Pope. He had 16 points in the win against Toronto, and he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
One thing that Drummond might not get enough credit for is his play on the defensive end. He's very strong, not only at blocking shots, but keeping players from getting comfortable, keeping them out of their comfort zone. It's hard to set up in the post when you got a big man like that now.
Now, here's Parker. 8 points for him.
He's really had a rough quarter on the offensive side of the floor.
Jackson passes to Prez, to the middle, deflects the pass. Here's Carter Williams, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Dellavedova. 6 points from Michael Carter Williams.
Talk about the last guy you want to leave alone on the perimeter. Wow.
Here's Prez, and they come right back with their own 3-pointer. And the Pistons lead by 9. Parker outside. Carter Williams kicks to Dellavedova. Back to Carter Williams. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. The Pistons on offense. They're on a 14-6 run. Drummond, and their whistle fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And you'll ask defenders or would-be defenders of Drummond, he can just punish you physically.
If he drops a shoulder into you, it's like getting hit by a runaway freight train. Because of how strong he is under the rim, he can just shrug off defenders who don't have a strong base. If he hits it on the low block, it's a dunk pretty much every time.
And some big names have called it a career in the last few years. We just saw Kobe retire this past season. Chris, when did you know that it was time for you to make that transition away from the game and officially retire?
I knew a couple of years before I actually admitted it. You know, I battled injuries basically my whole career, from dislocated shoulders to ankle injuries to, of course, everyone knows about the knees. And so for me, I was just trying to play every single moment I could in as many games as I could. So, you know, I don't really know when I realized it, but it didn't matter, because whenever you realize it, you don't want to let it go.
Yeah. Detroit leading by 3. Caldwell Pope outside. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Prez with the screen for Harris. Trying his luck deep. Buries the long-range jumper. Harris has got himself on the board with 3 there.
One of the things Harris does so well out there is shoot the 3-ball, which in turn opens up the floor for the rest of his teammates.
Takes it from 10, and it's Dellavedova missing.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Prez, no good. Milwaukee has gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. Up top, Dellavedova. He's guarded by Caldwell Pope. Carter Williams with the bucket.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the trip.
For Detroit, they've gone 8 of 16 from the field in the second quarter. A nice, efficient 50%. To the inside. And finish off by Prez.
And that's what Prez does so well. A tremendous scorer who tries his best to only take quality shots.
Now here's Carter Williams. 12 points for him. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And the Bucks are an interesting team. There was the trade involving Brandon Knight, Michael Carter-Williams a while ago. They signed Greg Monroe to a free agent contract last season. Re-signed John Henson. A lot of moving parts with the Bucks.
And they're still trying to identify the right combination of players, because they're still...
And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Pistons ahead.
Thanks, Kevin. Jason, a hard-fought first half. How do you assess the game so far?
We're going to need everybody. And the one thing we got to do is we can't settle. We got to keep attacking and get the ball in the paint.
Use that length to your advantage. Thanks, Jason. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Bring it in. We have not won this game yet. These guys are relying on one man to beat us. He is fueling their offense from the post. I want us fronting him in the paint. Be active out there and deny the entry pass. No easy buckets. Now let's get out there and win this game.
Welcome back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The buildings of downtown reflecting off the gentle waters of beautiful Lake Michigan. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. One guy who's been getting it done is Michael Carter-Williams.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
Oh, yeah, he's crafty, very difficult to defend one-on-one. We may see more double teams roll his way the second half.
Parker and Monroe together inside. Carter Williams is the point with Middleton at the 2. And it's Antetokounmpo in at the 3 slot. That's the group for Milwaukee right now.
And Caldwell Pope just knows how to run correctly in transition. He runs wide outside those hashes. He sees lanes and angles so well out there.
Here's Parker. It's Drummond with the rebound. Detroit leading by 4. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Milwaukee took Giannis Antetokounmpo a couple of years ago in the draft, and you talk to Bucks head coach Jason Kidd. He sees a lot of superstar potential in his young big man. Kidd said, you're talking about a 7-footer who can put it on the floor, can pass the ball. He's going to play every position for us. And the coach loves his young player's disposition, too, adding, he never complains. He just goes out there and plays. Guys?
You can't help but love him. Thank you, David. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Jackson dishes to Prez. Harris kicks to Jackson. Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope to the paint. Prez. And another field goal in this total. Make it 7 for 14, shooting 50%.
Oh, they can't miss their 3rd make in a row to begin the half.
Antetokounmpo passes to Monroe. He feeds it to Parker. Hits the jumper in space. Parker's got 10 points in the game. Pistons leading by 6. Jackson dishes to Prez. It's tipped. Stolen by Monroe. Here's Parker. He doesn't hit that one. And it's Detroit the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. And that game will kick off a 4-game homestand. Prez kicks to Drummond. Pass to Prez. Got a piece of it. Parker with the steal. And now, here comes Antetokounmpo leading the break. Yep, that one goes in there. And now it's just a 4-point Detroit lead.
And that's how you do it, guys. Ball pressure and then get some runouts.
Now, we all know Reggie Jackson is as quick as most guards in the league, but that isn't why he's able to get anywhere on the court. He does a great job of keeping defenders guessing with his change of speed. It looks like he's moving in slow motion at times because his movement is so fluid.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
But it's surprising, Kev, to see so little urgency on the defensive side, especially with them losing this game right now.
Yeah, easy call.
The Bucks have not set the world on fire at the free throw line. They're just 6 of 12.
And taking a look at their free throw statistics on the season, right around 74%.
Hansul's checked in for Milwaukee. Matthew Dellavedova comes in for Michael Carter-Williams. And Detroit with a change here, too. Bielitsa's checked in. Here's Drummond. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play. And Chris with Reggie Jackson. He is so talented with the changing of speeds on the move.
And you can't underplay how hard it is to guard a guy who is always starting and stopping. It's a constant guessing game if you're a defender, and eventually you'll anticipate wrong. Reggie finishes so well in so many places. This is a big part of why he's a great scorer.
Antetokounmpo kicks to Middleton. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Antetokounmpo's got 4 assists now tonight. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Prez kicks to Caldwell Pope. Here's Drummond, and the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Out of bounds, Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession. Taj Gibson's checked in for Milwaukee. Then for the Pistons, Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Drummond. And Smith subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Caldwell Pope passes to Bielitsa. Here's Prez, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Prez has got 19 points.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Henson with the screen. Dellavedova. Here's Gibson. That one drops for him. Gibson's got his first basket.
Strong move with the soft finish. Maybe someone on defense wants to step in next time.
Caldwell Pope on the wing. Pistons passing it around. Smith is to Prez. Back to Smith. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And Chris, when you look at the best rebounders around the NBA, it's interesting. Sometimes their teams rebound better with them off the floor. How do you explain that?
Well, you know what, Kevin? I think rebounding is different in all situations.
Bucks trail by 4, and on the 4 for Detroit here in the 4th. On the wings, Caldwell, Pope, and Harris. Andre Drummond is out there with Prez, and it's Jackson in at the point. It's good. The Pistons shooting a respectable 47% from the field in this one. Caldwell Pope kicks to Jackson. Count it.
How about the muscle from Jackson on that play? Even with the contact, he knocked the bucket down easily.
One thing about Reggie Jackson is he plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Reggie definitely has an edge to his game and plays like somebody stepped on his new shoes or scratched his car. Players with that mentality, though, I love them. They are rare, but some of the grittiest players in the game. He has fit in perfectly in the D because of that edge.
Jumper off the screen, and it's off the back rim, no good.
And that would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Well, that's just not wise to take that shot in that situation. He'll think better of it next time around.
And we're starting to see this becoming an emerging trend in the NBA, the transition 3.
Carter Williams with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Carter Williams kicks to Monroe. Pulls up on the wing. Rebound, Detroit. Prez has got 8 rebounds in this game.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Second shot opportunity, and it's good. Walk through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. And Antetokounmpo's checked in for Plumlee.
Prez plays so hard. All heart, all hustle when he's out on the court.
Bucks trail by 11. Antetokounmpo kicks to Monroe. Inside. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
And that one falls for Parker. And what a solid comeback Jabari Parker made last year after an ACL ended his rookie season before Greg had even began.
Yeah, and what the injury did was force Jabari to become stronger and more well-conditioned in terms of his training. When feeling his best, he's a dynamic scorer off the dribble. Struggles a little on D, but the rest of his game has enormous upside.
Antetokounmpo kicks to Parker, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Now, this team at times on the floor can remind you of the 2004 Pistons and how they play. Very unselfish, defensive-minded, and playing for one another. No big star, but doing what they can to get wins.
And with that 3, his second of the half, he's equaled his total from before the break.
Here's Carter Williams. Screen by Monroe. Carter Williams kicks to Parker. And a great assist by Carter Williams as that one goes in. 21 points for Jabari Parker. And with that 2004 Piston team, Chris, you mentioned, that was the last title the franchise took back to Detroit. What a team, too, led by Ben Wallace.
Well, you talk about team basketball, and they pulled off one of the bigger upsets in the NBA Finals history when they dismantled the Lakers team stuffed with future Hall of Famers. They played the better team ball and were able to overcome Kobe and Shaq with GP and the mailman.
And they have built their advantage on the scoreboard here by doing all the little things.
Here's Prez, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Monroe. We're in the final quarter of play here, 3 minutes in.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You know, Chris, for a lot of players, being called a tweener is a bit of a backhanded remark. It means they have no true position. But that might be a compliment for Tobias Harris.
You're right, Kev. That is exactly the case with Harris. He's considered a tweener just because he can have a large impact at both forward spots. He has the strength and ability to finish inside at the 4, but he's a good enough shooter from range to play the 3 and has no problem defending from either spot. Great instincts on the assist. Times that play perfect.
Caldwell Pope against Middleton. Jackson passes to Prez. Unloads. A shot missing. Good D by Parker. A shot by Middleton. Wide open. And again, Milwaukee with the triple. Pistons leading by 7. Jackson dishes to Caldwell Pope. Drummond up top. Feeds it to Prez. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Jabari Parker.
And the force Drummond plays with really making the D feel uneasy.
That free throw missing. That one is no good. Milwaukee has gotten 2/3 of their three-pointers to fall tonight. They're 6 of 9 overall. And Middleton kicks to Carter Williams. The Bucks working the ball around. Good work there as it goes. Now just a 5-point Detroit lead.
He's been blazing hot to begin this half after looking utterly lost during the first. Nice turnaround.
Basket counts.
They are up in this game right now, and he is one of the reasons why, given his stellar shooting from the field.
Antetokounmpo kicks to Monroe. Hits the front of the rim and out.
And really credit their advantage on the backboard. That's where the lead has been built, and that's why they are in control.
They set the pick, and out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession.
Wow, that looks like he forgot that there's an out of bounds in basketball. Not sure how he made that mistake.
Milwaukee making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. Bucks trail by 7. And here is Carter Williams. Outside Gibson. Back to Carter Williams. Buries it from three-point range.
The defenders need to recognize the importance of staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Now Prez to the inside. Jackson. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. And the Pistons lead by 6.
And with their hot shooting here in the second half, their field goal percentage over 50% now for the game.
Dishes it to Antetokounmpo. From 10 feet out, missed the right iron. Detroit leading by 6. Passes it to Caldwell Pope. Prez kicks to Drummond. Caldwell Pope against Middleton. Back to Caldwell Pope. Dishes it to Drummond. 5 to shoot. Here's Harris. And there's another one for the Pistons.
Well, even when you are right in Harris's face, he feels at ease rising up for the J. You can only do so much against this guy sometimes.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. There's the pick. The dish to Monroe. And it's sent back by Drummond. Harris kicks to Jackson. Pass to Prez. Drummond dishes to Prez. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And it's a 10-point Piston lead.
Kevin, Drummond is making great strides in his all-around game, spotting his teammates for a clean look at the rim.
Carter Williams kicks to Antetokounmpo. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. He drops the first one, and that brings them within single digits. Both free throws good from Antetokounmpo. Here's Jackson. Here's Harris. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Oh, when Harris is down deep. He is exceptional at being physical, really puts defenders in a tough spot.
First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 9. And Harris drops them both. 1:21 left in the fourth quarter. Now here's Carter Williams. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Monroe left side, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Antetokounmpo.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Pistons leading by 10.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces as it appears it'll be a nice win here for the Pistons.
A beautiful pass doesn't always get you on the highlight reels, but there were some spectacular dishes in this game.
You know what? It was a team that was in sync and just trusted one another to take the right shots.
And this will push their record to 39 wins in a good effort tonight.
And once they polish off this win, they'll be one more victory away from sweeping the season series. A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Prez. He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
Both free throws good from Prez.
That one's for you, Mama. That one's for you.
Bucks trail by 12. 58 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
And how about the footwork? Check out those moves in the post and then the sweet finish to go along with it.
Excellent work around the basket. You're right, GA.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now thanks to that last little spurt.
No, that's the nail in the coffin. Called it a game.
And stolen by Drummond. Jackson kicks to Caldwell Pope. From deep. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Drummond. And the Pistons lead by 15.
Well, guys, they came in here and really took charge from the opening tip. This is such a tough thing to do for a visiting team. This contest was played on their terms.
But that's just tremendous work by them in setting the pace of the game to their favor and maintaining that throughout the game.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. And it's Drummond with the jam.
Wow, did you see that? The terrific ball movement by Jackson is terrific. I mean, really moving the rock around the floor, especially to his wide-open teammates.
To halt the run, and no problem from Gibson as he finishes at the rim.
The offense has clearly kicked into gear. The question, though, is it just a little too late?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a fair question. Looking at the clock, it appears they might be out of luck.
And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
There he is.
Yo, Prez. Ernie and the guys in the studio want to talk to you.
All right, let's get it.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you. Superb. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Prez.
Hey, man, this is Kenny, man. Congrats on a great win and also getting your season high, man. Your season high in points, man. Now, is this your best game so far?
I don't know, man. I mean, look, I've had a lot of great games, man. A lot of great games. This one was solid and all, but all I can say is that there's a lot more where that came from, so if that was my season high, it's not going to last very long, Kenny.
Well, do you know who you're playing next game? I'm just letting you know. They're listening right now. Do you know who you're playing right now? Now, that team is not playing games.
Man,
okay.
Listen, man. Those guys, they got nothing on me.
We'll see. I'll be watching, and we'll be watching. Right, Ernie? Right, Shaq? Let's go.
Watch away, fellas. Let's do this thing.
That's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. We certainly hope you've enjoyed the show, don't we, guys?
It was great.
Yeah. Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and for Kevin Harlan and the entire 2K Sports crew, all 653,000 of them.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Hard-working.
A lot of people.
Yeah. It's a long line at the buffet, though.
Shout out to the T-Pose, man.
Oh,
I don't know his name, but I know his face.
I'm Ernie Johnson. See you next time.